And I tell her, because the Board of Health won't let me do it. If they find out that I did it, you know, we're in big trouble. We're going to get fined. And the Board of Health also goes in and they inspect the entire house, not just the one complaint. They'll inspect the entire house and they'll say, well, this is not up to code, this is not up to code. So you end up having to fix up the entire house. Okay? The biggest one that happened,
it's like FHA kind of thing,
was when Arlene and I were living there. The front porch, the boards on the front porch were weak and old.
Yeah.
Okay? They definitely bounce and sag, and, you know, they're going to break, and any kind of weight gets on them.
Right.
You know, you just can't really, you don't feel safe when you walk across that front porch. And so I told Arlene that I will fix that. You know, I will take care of it. I will replace. But then she hired some Chinese contractors. Okay, and they came in and they don't speak English. And they're talking to me about, you know, doing the front porch. So I get on the phone with Arlene, and she's upset that I'm bothering her while she's working. You know, so I'm getting yelled at by her again.
Two Chinese motherfuckers on both sides.
and she tells them. So they go out and they do the work, and I go to work, and I come back, and you know what they did to the front porch?
What?
They painted it.
They painted it?
That's what I paid them money, you know, which I thought was a very good price for replacing the wood on the front porch. But what they did was just paint it. And it was like, why am I paying this much money to get a paint job that I could have done easily?
For nothing, yeah.
You know? I could have just slapped on some paint.
Oh, no. So they were supposed to replace lumber then?
Yeah, they're supposed to replace lumber. That's a lot more than just slapping on some paint.
Yes.
So I was pissed, and I told Arlene about that. I says, did you pay these guys? Yeah, I saw what they did. It looks really good. I says, I told you the wood has to be replaced. Well, didn't they do that? I says, you go out there and walk on the front porch. You tell me if that wood is old, if it's safe.
Oh, no.
She's like, oh, well, maybe in a couple years we'll replace it, you know? Because it looks good right now. You don't have to have people walking on that porch.
Chinese rigged it.
So I'm upset about that. And so finally I had some tenants who didn't like it. They were going out on the front porch, and they called the Board of Health. So I told Arlene, it's got to be done. It's got to be, the wood's got to be replaced. I'll look in to see how much it cost, to see if I can start working on this. But I really don't have the time. I'm kind of working, and I'm busy. And the kids are getting older, and they need somebody to help them with this and that, and take them to this appointment and that appointment. I don't really have the time to be out there working on a project that should take, you know, like 4 or 5 guys to do, you know, and I'm going to do it by myself, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Are you allowed to paint? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I can paint. So I go over there, and that was around the time I found out that the Board of Health says, no, you can't do that job yourself. You got to get a contractor.
Damn it.
So I called the contractor over, and they looked it over, and the guy comes over and says, you got a lot more serious problems than just old wood. You have no foundation on that porch. Look underneath. He says, come on, let's go underneath. I'll show you. Looked underneath, and the porch, the whole porch is not sitting on anything.
Like sawdust.
He says, people are going to come out on the porch, and eventually it's going to fall right off, and it's going to kill those people.
Held together by unicorn farts.
Okay? Yeah. And these people are going to die. Okay? And it's all going to be on you, because it's going to be known that you knew about it.
Yeah.
So this has to be done. So I paid these guys, or I was going to pay these guys to do the job. But when Arlene found out about the cost, she was like, no, we ain't doing that. We're not going to spend that money to do this job.
Yeah.
You know, we'll wait another 5-10 years. I says, next week, someone's going to die.
Oh, yeah, it's not good. You get sued. It would be...
You know, and if the Board of Health sees this, they're going to just say, that's it. You got to get those people out of there. You can't, this house is abandoned, you know, it's gone. You're not going to get anything until it's fixed. And
are you still in the same house?
No, we sold that house.
You sold the house, okay.
So, and that's because of everything that was going on, all leading up to this.
Yes.
For this last summer. So, I pulled the money out of the account, of our account, and I paid these guys, and I got the job done. And Arlene was furious.
Wow, crazy.
And I am just so sick and tired of having to have tenants yell at me, the Board of Health yell at me,
The wife.
my wife yelling at me, neighbors are yelling at me, you know, because
No wonder you came home. What the fuck?
Oh my God, this it was just like every single year, time after time, and tenants would move out, be upset, and I tried to get people to come in, and I'd get crappy tenants wanting to get the place. I'd have to fight with new tenants.
Oh God.
Oh, I just like, I hate this house. I hate it.
I hate this house. I hate this life. I hate this wife. I hate this. I need a knife. Fuck you. No,
So,
it sounds bad. Yeah.
Arlene and I got in a fight about it. And she says, you know what? When I married you, you were the man with a plan. You always come up with, you always looked to the future, saw what was going on, and you organized it and you took care of it. Now, whenever you have a problem, you come to me. And I have to deal with it. Okay? And I'm thinking, you know what? She's right. She's right. I used to be able to handle any situation, come up with a plan, I could see the future and know what I have to do. So I said, okay, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start taking charge. First thing I'm going to do is the financing. Okay? She handles all the financing. She handles any money that comes in, it goes right into the account where she pulls it out and does this and does, but she's a financial wizard.
Yeah.
Okay? She makes money left and right just out of the blue. I have no clue how she does this. And I trust her with it.
Yes.
Okay? I don't try to get my nose in it. I don't try to tell her what has to be done. I let her do what she does. Okay? So any money comes in, it goes to her, and fine. Okay. Well, if I'm going to complain about pulling money out of the account, I'm going to make money for myself. Okay? I created my own accounts.
Oh boy.
And put money into it.
Sounds like it's complicating things.
Okay? Because now, if there's something that we have to be paid for, you know, I don't have to struggle to get the money.
Did she deal with you transferring the money power over to you?
I didn't transfer any money over. I just when I was working, I'd put $100 into the account.
Wow.
Okay? And so that's what I did. Oh, we're coming close to the casino.
Yeah. I'm just driving. We'll get to a beer.
And
I know exactly where I'm going.
and then I started making other plans. Okay? I started looking into finding my own place.
In Boston or
Boston
Medford.
area.
Yeah.
Okay? And just in case, I said, just in case it comes time to the point, because I could see that someday Arlene is going to say, let's get a divorce and let's have this over. I figured she'd be after the kids are off in their lives.
So you saw the writing on the wall right away.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So I figured I got to start planning for this. Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I told her, you know, I'm going to start selling off my comic books. I'm going to get rid of those and free up some space and free up some time and that. And I'm going to do a lot more overtime so I can make up more money. basically for myself, but I told her I'm going to work in more overtime. And that I was making my plans. I had a little notebook that I kept track.
Planned your escape then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Planning my escape.
Wow, good.
But then I found out that my dad was dying.
Yeah.
Okay. And I raced back to Toledo to spend a couple days with my dad. And that's when he told me, you know, I expect to live a little bit longer. But I figured, okay, but I gotta make it clear, you know, that I'm gonna be here. And now there's another problem that I have in my life. My daughter.
Yeah.
She's suicidal.
Oh no, right now?
Yes.
Oh God.
She has been spending time in the hospital from time to time under observation.
Yeah.
She is seeing a therapist. She goes to the doctor on a regular basis. She takes Prozac.
Mm-hmm. How old is she now?
She is 13.
Oh wow, pretty young then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, April 14th. No, she's 14.
Yeah, still.
She's 14. So, it caused some contention because of there was talk about taking Molly away from us.
No.
And we took her to this doctor, and the doctor examined her and talked with her and everything, and came back, and we sat in this doctor's office, and this doctor was a fucked up quack.
Yeah.
She was talking about, oh, Molly has autism, and she has voices in her head, and she has all kinds of mental problems. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? You know, I was ready to throw that bitch right out the window.
Wow, that's pretty strange.
She came up with all this fucking crazy bullshit, you know. And then she's like, well, when she was at school and she was crying at school and told the school counselor that she wanted to commit suicide, and she was brought home. They had somebody coming over to talk with her, and another quack came over, and Molly and I both laugh at this to this day. All she could say was, Molly, we're worried about you. Every other line that came out of this bitch's mouth, Molly, we're worried about you.
Oh, God.
Like, there was no sincerity in all what she was doing.
Yep.
And it was so obvious that Molly was giving her looks like, the fuck are you talking about?
Shut up, you phony.
And so after she left, so anyway, I had to go to work. Arlene came home, and she was talking to somebody and said, Molly must go to the emergency room to be checked out. So they said, okay, I'll take her over. So they took Molly over to the emergency room because they said that's what we have to do. Okay? And after being at the emergency room for a while, they said, well, Molly has to go into this inpatient clinic. And that's what they suggest. You know, they said, this is what you should do. And of course, we've never dealt with any suicidal daughters before, so yeah, if you say you must know what you're talking about. And so we took Molly over to this clinic where she stayed there. And when we put her in there, they told us, don't worry, she'll only be here for a couple days. She's just here for observation. We'll evaluate her, and then she can go home. Okay? A couple days later, we get over there, and we're saying, okay, well, we're ready to take Molly. And they're saying, no, she's got to stay here for another week. Well,
is this a psych hospital? Or?
Yeah, a little psychiatric hospital for the children, a clinic thing. And it's like, but we don't want her to stay here. Well, you don't have a choice. You know?
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice in this. Molly will stay here for another week. okay? And we will evaluate her. We will decide on when she gets to come home.
Whoa. The fuck's up with that?
Yeah. And when I talked to that clinic doctor, and she was all whacked out about what Molly needed, she said that, well, we must have known that Molly isn't able to live in your house, that you guys are bad parents, because you actually took her to the emergency room. So you obviously knew that she was in distress. You obviously knew that you guys were not proper parents. Okay, so at this point, I'm ready to say, I'm coming in with a gun and I want to kill all you motherfuckers.
Oh, well,
you know,
yeah,
I'm taking my daughter out of here, okay? And if anybody gets in my way, you guys are lost. And I got so angry at Arlene, because Arlene was like, oh, we've lost our daughter. Oh, there's nothing we can do. I actually threw her onto the couch to get her out of my way, because I was going to go get Molly. So Arlene was like, oh my God, he pushed me. He was violent with me.
Oh no. So it all starts with the dramas and shit. The exaggerations and anxieties. Yeah.
So I dragged Arlene to go with me to go get Molly. And I could tell she was scared. Arlene was terrified because she saw how pissed off I was. But I says, look, I'm going to go in there and I'm giving them one more chance. Okay? We're going to talk, and I want to know what their intentions with Molly. And if I hear any word against us, or that they're going to take Molly away, it's going to get violent. So we went in there, and they said, Molly can go home today.
Good thing.
And I was like, the anger just went away out of my head.
Good, you needed that. You
I was
really
like,
needed that.
Oh, I tell you, the weight of the world was off my shoulders.
Because you were ready to explode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good.